Hello students, today's class is for BBA second year students and we will discuss the subject called business environment. Okay, students, in the last video of your BBA class we have completed the various features of a business environment. So far in unit 2 we have completed the basic concept of business environment, and we have also seen the what you can say the features of business environment. So the features we have already been discussed. I hope you will be properly able to understand the different features that 7 to 8 points was there under the features. Each and every point I hope you people will be definitely able to understand. So the next topic after the features of business environment, the next topic in your unit 2 is the significance of business environment. The significance of business environment. Dear students, the significance is also known as the importance of business environment. So if in the exam, suppose the question comes, what do you mean by business environment and what are the different significance of business environment? So that is nothing but also known as the importance. So significance of business environment or importance of a business environment, both are having the same meaning. Understand these terms very carefully, because only when you will be able to understand these terms, then only you will be properly able to answer. So significance is also known as the importance. Dear students, before discussing the different points that was there in your business environment or significance of business environment, your today's topic, there are different points. Before going to the points directly, first let's understand why it is necessary to learn the significance of business environment. Why we need to understand properly the significance or importance of business environment. Dear students, one thing you should know that today's market is very competitive. Today's market is very competitive in nature. Everywhere, starting from a small scale organization to large scale organizations or large scale companies, everywhere we are finding a lot of tough competition. So in order to become very much successful in the industry, whatever may be the type of our business, in order to become very successful in the industry, the businessman should be very smart. How the businessman can become very smart? Only when the businessman is properly able to understand the environment of the business. Getting my point? Only when the businessman is properly able to understand the environment, the surroundings of the business, then only he can think accordingly and plan for different things and can surprise the competitors. Otherwise, on the other hand, if a businessman is not able to properly understand the surroundings of the business in a proper manner, then that business will face a lot of difficulty for its survival, or you may say existence. So why it is necessary? The answer is, everywhere we find very huge or tough competition. So in order to be there in the industry, we must be capable enough. It means the businessman must be capable enough to understand properly the surroundings of the business or the environment of the business. And in the last video or in the previous videos, while discussing the business environment, I have already explained you the business environment consists of both internal as well as external factors, both internal and external factors. So we should plan accordingly to understand the internal environment as well as the external environment also. We cannot forgive a one single portion also. Each single portion or each factor or each element of both internal as well as external plays a vital role for success of the business. So why this is necessary? S stands for, you may say in a shortcut manner, S stands for significance, S stands for success. S stands for success. So only when we, being a businessman, should properly able to understand our business, what is going on in the surrounding of the business, then only we can become successful and we can grow in a very fast manner. So understanding the surroundings, understanding the internal as well as external factors, we will discuss later on in a separate video, the types of business environment or the various elements of business environment. So we will discuss the elements of internal environment as well as the elements of external environment in detailed manner in the subsequent videos. But for this moment, you should know that the businessman should always be capable enough to understand properly both internal as well as external factors. So when the businessman able to understand the internal factors and external factors in a very proper manner, remember the business is completely will become successful. That's the, we must say, secret to the business. Secret to the business. Hence, from this you are quite clear that it is always very much essential to know or to have a study on the significance or to have a study on the importance of a business environment. So business or the importance or the significance of a business environment is being analyzed with different or so many points. What are those points? Let's discuss them one by one. So first mover advantage. The point number one is first mover advantage. Dear students, the point as it is written on the book, first mover advantage. So it is the basic beauty or basic, you may say, advantage of the business is that, so the first mover advantage tells us that the business is always in a upper hand situation to understand in a very good manner what is going on with the surroundings of the business. Take one example. take the example of Maruti Suzuki Limited. So Maruti Suzuki Limited was the first company to introduce cars in India. Now, why this company became the first car distributor? Why not the other companies? Simply because the best answer is Maruti Suzuki Limited was properly able to understand the needs of the people in India, or you may say the need for the small cars. The need for the small cars in India. The need for the small cars in India, or the need for the medium income level or medium group family groups or medium income level family groups in India. So Maruti Suzuki Limited at that time was properly able to understand the need for the small and medium cars in India, because he analyzes the surrounding system in India at that moment. At that moment, Maruti Suzuki India or Maruti Suzuki Limited was properly able to understand the income level of the consumers or income level of the middle class consumers, because in India a maximum group will fall under medium class category. Medium class category. So Maruti Suzuki Limited was properly able to understand the needs of the middle class people or middle class families in India at that time, and also accordingly he planned for introduction of selling of small and medium cars in India, and the company became very successful, very successful so far as car sellings are concerned. So far as car sellings are concerned. So in order to give a good challenge to the competitors, we must be the fast movers. We must be the fast movers, or we may say we have the fast mover advantage. So understanding properly the environmental changes that takes place in any country, in any situation, business environment always helps, or understanding the surroundings of the business always helps the businessman to be the first person to move accordingly. What's the point? First mover advantage. So business environment always helps in, you may say, uh, to catch up the opportunity when it arises. So the business should always be the first mover when the opportunity takes place. So this is the first basic importance of your business environment. First mover advantage. It means whenever there is an opportunity, the businessman should properly able to grab that. How? Only when the businessman is properly able to analyze the surroundings, what is going on in our surroundings. Simply we are doing the business, so we cannot sit ideal thinking that yes, our business is running in a very smooth manner, our sales becomes very high, our profits are very high. No, even though our sales was very high, even though our profits are very high, then also we have to think, we have to judge, we have to be a look on a close eye that what is going on in our surroundings, so that whenever there is an opportunity, we must be properly able to take that opportunity and not let it to other competitors. Not let it to other competitors. If Maruti Suzuki Limited was not taken the opportunity and left some other company or other competitor to sell the cars at that time, then Maruti Suzuki will not become so much successful right now. So we must be planned accordingly how we should catch the opportunity. Point number two is early warning signals. Early warning signals. What does this point indicate? This point tells us that when the opportunity is with us, no doubt we will take the opportunity, but there are certain, you may say, situations where warning may also, or the certain, you may say, not proper warnings, there are certain threats to the business. There are certain threat may also be there from the outside parties to our business also. So being a successful businessman, or in order to become very successful in the future, we must plan accordingly. We must plan accordingly. How? Now, early warning signals always benefit to the businessman to avoid the loss, or avoid the, you may say, crisis situation. Because if any kind of warnings, for example, suppose in the future the demand for our product may decline due to some reason, by making a proper market survey, being a businessman, we came to know that our product in the near future will not be heavily demanded by the customers. So it will automatically lead to decrease in our sales volume, decrease in our sales volume. So this is nothing but a threat to us. So keeping this in mind, we should also reduce our production. Or we are selling, if we are selling different products, so we will stop producing that particular product whose demand is continuously decreasing, or whose demand is very soon going to decrease in the future. So these kind of warnings, these kind of signals also have been provided by the business environment. So the business man must be properly capable enough to catch those warning signals, so that in a future date the businessman will not suffer from any kind of loss, or will not face the crisis situation. On the other hand, if the businessman is not properly able to understand the warning signals of the business, then survival and existence of the business in the future will be in a complete question mark position. The survival and existence of the business may not be so much easier. So in order to be there in the industry, in order to give tough competition to our competitors, we must properly able to catch up the warning signals. Because only when we are able to catch the warning signals, we are understanding the surrounding of the business very properly, then only we will be able to survive in the industry. Then only we will be able to survive in the industry. Otherwise it will be very difficult for us. Otherwise it will be very difficult for us. So the businessman should always be capable enough to catch the warning signals. Let's move to another point. So the next point is customer focus. Dear students, the basic importance of business environment is also very essential, that you may say it is always customer oriented. It is always customer oriented. So it always gives proper emphasis to the needs of the customers, because only when we properly able to understand what is going on in the customer's mind, what kind of product that the customers actually want, keeping this in view, we have to produce our products accordingly. On the other hand, if customers want something different, we are providing the product something different, or you may say not matching with the customer's requirement or customer's demand, then also the product or our company's product will not be much successful, will not become very successful. So it is quite necessary for us to be understand the needs of the customer. What does it indicate? The needs of the customers. So the needs, the demands, the requirements of the customer should always be given proper emphasis or due importance. So business environment always suggests the business to understand the needs of the customer very properly and plan accordingly, or to provide the products accordingly. Because when the customers are satisfied with us, I am telling in previous classes also that if we are able to satisfy even one single customer, then don't think that the one customer will be with us. He or she, it means that particular customer will be able to bring to our business 100 numbers of more customers, 100 numbers of more customers. So the businessman should plan accordingly by keeping in mind the customer's requirement. Strategy formulation. So the strategy formulation is another important aspect of business environment. Formulation of strategies always plays a key factor so far as success of the business is concerned. So far as success of the business is concerned. So in order to become successful, we should properly able to analyze our strategies. What is our goals? What was our desiredness? What was our objective? So the businessman should able to formulate the strategies at different stages. At you may say different stages. So at different levels, at different stages, the strategies must be properly defined or clearly be planned, because the success of business depends upon the extent to which the business is properly able to formulate its strategies, its goals, its plans. So when we make the strategy, or you may say only when we make a strategy, then only we can run ourselves on that particular strategy. And the students, remember, only formulating the strategies will not be enough. Rather, we have to implement them. We have to implement them. Implementation of the strategies. Only strategy formulation will not solve the issue. So the first criteria or first thing that we require to take is to make the strategies or formulate different strategies at different levels of management, give individuals or specific tasks to different persons or different people working inside the organization, and try to implement the strategies in a very successful manner. Try to implement the strategies in a very successful manner. If we able to do so, that means number one, we are first thing formulating the strategies. Number two, we are implementing the strategies. If formulation and implementation of strategies takes place, then remember our business will definitely grow up to a very large extent. We will see the top. We will see the top. Top means the not top floor. Top means the results. I'm talking about the result part. We will definitely going to face the top results. So when the strategy became very successful, then implementing the strategies will not be a difficult task. That's why the point is strategy formulation, because when we will formulate or when we will implement the strategy, only when we properly able to formulate them. So strategy formulation should be a key factor or key element in the significance of a business environment. So the businessman should always be properly able to define its strategies. Change agent. Remember, the businessmen are the businessmen are always the change agents of the business. What does it indicates? It means that we must be properly able to change ourselves according to the changing environment, because environment keeps on changing every day. The environment will not change for us. We have to change for the environment. We have to change for the environment. So keeping this in mind, we should always, being a successful businessman, should be the act as the change agents. It means whenever there is a change, we must change ourselves and act accordingly. So when we are able to change ourselves, when there is a change in the environment, no doubt again our business will become very successful. Dear students, if you remember, while discussing in today's video only, while discussing the significance, under that, before starting the points, I have already told you that the ultimate study of the significance of business or importance of business is to choose those methods, choose those ways whereby our business will become very successful. So these are nothing but the, you may say, the guidelines. We are in another way discussing the guidelines due to which the business will face, or the business will definitely going to get its success. So business at every point of time should always be act as the change agent. The businessmen should always act as the change agents of the business. So when the environment changes, being a successful businessman, we are also required to change accordingly to the changing environment, so that we are not facing any kind of problem in the future. On the other hand, if we are not able to properly change ourselves according to the changing requirements, then the survival as well as the existence of the business will be very, very difficult. So it is nothing but the businessman at every point of time need to work as the change agent. Public image. Dear students, the business should always try to get a good public image. How to get that? This is not a pen and paper work. This is not a official work. There is no such basic formulas for getting the public image. How we will get, or how we will be able to create the public image? By satisfying the needs of the customers, by giving better services to the society, by giving better services to the society, by properly understanding the mind of the customer, by serving the customer in a very good manner. So if the customers is satisfied with us, if the society is satisfied with us, if our creditors is satisfied with us, if our debtors is satisfied with us, if the bankers where we are every day making a transaction is satisfied with us, then students, this point, public image will automatically be created. The business not required to do anything extraordinary to create the public image. Rather, by satisfying so many persons, you may add employees also, like debtors, creditors, bankers, employees, shareholders. So if these persons, those are surrounded with the business, is satisfied with us, then definitely the business is going to create a huge amount of public image in the society. So the ultimate aim of every business should be to create the public image. And as I said just right now, that creating a public image is not a big issue. Rather, we may say, by fulfilling certain needs, by taking certain small steps, as I said right now, the public image can easily be created. Now, once we are able to create a good amount of public image, then remember, our business will definitely enjoy the competitive advantages over the competitors. Any new customer will choose our company before going to other company. Any creditors will definitely want to invest in our company before going to another company. Any bank should always be ready enough to provide us loans instead of providing loans to other companies. The investor should always try to invest in our company rather than investing in other companies. So many things, so many advantages we will enjoy once we get this public image, or once we create this public image in the society or in the industry. So the public image should always be very, very helpful to the businessman. So being a successful businessman, we should always try to create a good amount of public image. Continuous learning. Dear students, business environment is a continuous learning process. It means there is not an end to the scope of a business. Every day the business is learning something new things, some new things. So get those new things, ready for those new things, or ready to learn the new things. So continuous process you may also say, continuous learning process you may also say, business is a never ending process. It keeps us learning so many things that the businessman can able to create or able to KNOW know in a day-to-day basis. So we should assist, we should get back to those learnings and try to take the advantage from those learnings. We should implement in our business that we have studied from the making the market survey. So continuous learning process tells us that the businessman always try to create those opportunities whenever it arises. Because as I said, it is a continuous process. So every day the businessman learns something from the business or from the market. So we have to catch that opportunities. If we are able to do so, then our business no doubt will become very successful. So these are the various points of discussion so far as significance of business environment is concerned. So dear students, in today's video we have discussed the significance, why it is required to study the significance, as well as the 7 points of importance or significance of business environment. In the subsequent videos we will move to the next topics. That's it. Thank you.